10 mistakes, once again. Number 1, we will raise prices for at least 10%. Very important preposition to know here, because we often talk about increasing and decreasing numbers, values, and we will raise prices by is the correct preposition. By at least 10%. 10%. We will raise prices by at least 10%. We will decrease prices by 10%. We will increase prices by 10%. Okay? Prices will go up by 10%. It's very common, the word by, with going up and going down with numbers. Number 2, how was the accident happened? This is incorrect because it's passive and it shouldn't be. And there are some words, agree is another one, where students have a tendency to put it into passive when it should be active. They say I was agreed instead of I agreed. And they say how was the accident happened instead of how did the accident happen. In English we use this verb in an active way. How did the accident happen? Okay, number 3, have you to take part in this? This is a modal verb mistake, and the mistake is with have to. We don't say have you to take part in this. That's not how we make a question with this modal verb. We say do in present simple. Do you have to take part in this? Have is for present perfect, not for present simple. Have you had to do something like that, but it's not very common. Do you have to take part in this? Number 4, what means show off? No. Very, very common mistake. If you're a teacher and you hear your younger students making this mistake, you've got to get rid of this mistake right from the beginning, because they say it all the time. And of course, we don't say it like that in English. We say, what does show off mean? And it must be in that correct order. So it's a good way to practice questions with the younger students. Make sure when they ask, they say, what does show off mean? Okay, number 5, she could be more open with her husband is correct. It's correct, okay? But in the situation when the student said it, it was incorrect because she was talking about a situation in the past. And so it shouldn't be she could be more open with her husband. It must be she could have been more open with her husband, because that is the past modal form. When you're saying it would, she could have been more open with her husband. Maybe she should have been more open with her husband. And if she had been more open, things would have been better. So you can see those past modal forms there. Number 6, it's a big pleasure. Very common mistake. It's not the correct collocation. It's a great pleasure. It's a real pleasure. Even real works here. It's a great pleasure. It's a real pleasure to introduce, I don't know, whoever it is. But number 7, he told him about it when they went home. Again, this is correct. But what it means is first you went home and then you told him about it. Yeah, first you went home, then you told him about it. That's not what the student wanted to say. He wanted to say he told him about it on the way home, in the middle of the journey home. And when you want to say in the middle of something, you must use past continuous. And then it's correct. Yeah, he told him about it when they was. Terrible mistake. They were. He told him about it when they were going home. Okay? If you want to say in the middle of the journey. Number 8, the address was written, another person. You've got the passive correct. Well done. But you forgot the preposition. And again, it's the same one as up here, by. Passive needs the word by to say who performed the action. Number 9, he pretended a businessman. Very common for people to misunderstand this verb and forget that you need another verb. He pretended to be a businessman. He pretended to be a policeman. Yeah, doesn't matter who. Number 10, the amount of my family is getting bigger. I didn't like this, and I told the student just to say, my family is getting bigger. You could say the number of people in my family is getting bigger. But it sounds like quite a long way round, in my opinion. Quite an unnecessary way, an unnecessarily long sentence. Perhaps it's just better to say my family is getting bigger. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you all soon.